Hi, I'm alive. So, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to me. I apologize for my absence the last couple months. Where have I been, you may ask? For starters, Lance got home right around the time I disappeared. And we've just been busy doing puzzles, Bible studies, keeping 5 feet of Jesus between us, really the wholesome stuff. On top of that, I am the proud owner of a geriatric cat who likes to wait until I get to work to need to go to the emergency vet. And one missing tooth and $1,000 later, I have a cat who needs a little bit of extra attention. I've also been working on my strength and conditioning course still. I've been working on this for a while, trying to get it done. Let's just say I was still in my 20s when I started the course. And lastly, I've been working on my own fitness goals within the last few months that have included a lot of weight training, running, praying out to Jesus, regretting life choices, fun stuff like that. So needless to say, I have been a real slacker about these videos, these weekly videos. So I really apologize for that. Hopefully still you enjoyed the challenge. Hopefully you got a lot out of the challenge. And from the intro packet I did, hopefully that helped you along. A side note, the other day I was talking about this with Alexis, Kaylin, and Kayla Addison at work about being a slacker and really dropping the ball on these weekly videos. And Kayla Addison graciously offered me her forgiveness for not keeping up with these videos. It took me a few minutes to remember she wasn't actually a part of the challenge. But still, nonetheless, I appreciate her forgiveness, and hopefully you all can forgive me too. But to make up for being a slacker, I have decided to put together sort of an outro package. So a few tips on what to do after the challenge is over. I will include a couple workouts a little bit more intense than the ones I included at the beginning of the challenge, especially if working out was one of your goals over the last 3 months. Hopefully you've progressed a little bit that you can handle a little bit more challenging, harder, longer workout. I include a few of my favorite types of weight training styles. I also have been getting a lot of questions about people wanting to increase their protein intake, how to increase their protein intake. And when I respond by offering a suggestion of protein powder, adding a protein powder into their diet, a lot of times the response is, I've tried protein powder, but I don't like the taste of it. So I was just gonna do 3 recipe videos showing you 3 of my favorite ways of using protein powder in different recipes. But for starters, I wanted to make a video offering a few tips on what to do now that the challenge is over. Just a few things that I think are very important to keep in mind now that we're no longer doing a daily tracker, a weekly tracker, now that we're no longer doing this challenge. So I'll be looking at 4 sort of limiting factors that I feel like affect people in the long run when they have health or fitness goals in mind. The first thing I want to look at is the never-ending quest for motivation. I feel like this is something that people are always asking about, something people are always striving to find. They want motivation. How do I get motivation to stay on track with working out? Well, honestly, the thing with motivation is it's fleeting. And because of that, it's not something you can rely on. Especially now that this challenge is over and you don't have that monetary incentive driving you to drink your 64 ounces of water to get your 30 minutes of movement in, you really can't just solely rely on motivation to help you get up and make these healthy choices. The biggest thing to keep in mind is that it shouldn't be about motivation, it should be about dedication. You should treat your fitness goals, so your working out, your sleep, your mindfulness, like any other responsibility you have in your life. Say, for example, going to work. A lot of times you're not motivated to go to work. You want to hit the snooze button. You want to call in. You don't want to be there, but you don't do those things because you know you have to work to make money. Just like with moving your body. I'm not saying like a difficult, hard, killer workout every single day, but it's important to move your body for a healthy lifestyle. And that is something that you need to schedule for yourself. Say like, tomorrow I am going to go for a walk. Tomorrow I'm going to go for a hike. Tomorrow I'm going to do these stretches. And you need to make that commitment and you need to stick to it, just like you would a doctor's appointment, just like you would your work schedule, just like you would dinner with friends. You wouldn't just cancel on them, so don't cancel on yourself. Next thing I feel like is so important to keep in mind when it comes to having an overall healthy lifestyle is living by the 80-20 rule. And what does this mean? This means that 80% of the time you are eating foods that fuel your body, make you feel good, and that taste good. And 20% of the time you're eating the things that maybe aren't as good for you. And this doesn't need to be an exact science. You don't need to measure out your food or track your food to be able to live by this lifestyle. But just for the majority of the time, you are making those healthy choices. And because the majority of the time you're making those healthy choices, then it's okay if you're at work and you want to eat, a cookie that's on the table that was brought in by a family, because you can eat that cookie and move on from it and not dwell on it, because you know that most of the time you make the right choice. You don't have to overthink it. You can enjoy that treat. You can enjoy that maybe not so healthy food without feeling any guilt over it. Going along with this, so say your goal is weight loss and you find that you are struggling with something like cravings. What to do about cravings? Oh, honestly, my rule for cravings, which probably is very different than a lot of other people will tell you, is just eat the damn food. So say you're craving a cookie, and I hate when people say, oh, you're craving a cookie for dessert. Well, have a bowl of fruit instead. Fruit and cookies are not made equally. Just go ahead and eat it, because a lot of times if you're craving that cookie, you'll start with a bowl of fruit thinking I'll be healthy. Then you're like, I'm still craving it, so I'm going to eat a protein bar. And then, okay, maybe after you eat the protein bar, you're like, okay, I'm going to have some low-fat ice cream. And then you're like, okay, now I'm going to eat the cookie because I still really want the cookie. And instead of just eating the cookie, you've now eaten the fruit and the protein bar and the low-fat ice cream and the cookie when you could have just had the cookie to begin with. If fat loss is your goal, if weight loss is your goal and you're trying to limit that and you don't want to blow out your calories, blow out your day, then just get like an individual, like just one cookie, and don't keep it in the house. Like for me, my biggest weakness and what I typically want are pretzels. I cannot keep pretzels in the house because I will eat the entire bag in one sitting. So I will just get, like at work, the individual size bag of pretzels, and so I'll eat that and then just be done with it. That's just my way of thinking. Back in college, I remember reading Pete Sampras's autobiography. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a pretty well-known tennis player. And I remember him talking about how he was training for a Grand Slam, and so he was trying to eat really clean, really healthy, and so he eliminated all fast food, junk food from his diet. And he started getting such an intense craving for pizza, to the point where he was dreaming of pizza. But he stuck to his diet and he held on and he didn't eat the pizza. And then he got to his tennis match and he lost. And he honestly believes that if he would have just eaten the damn pizza, he might have won, because it was his body telling him, hey, I really want this. I really want to eat this. And maybe there was something that he was lacking. Maybe there's fat in his diet or calories in his diet that he really needed it. So like I said, at the end of the day, when it comes to cravings, it goes back to that 80-20 rule. If you're choosing whole foods, well-balanced meals, 80% of the time, you can eat the cookie, you can eat the pizza. It's not going to ruin your life. You're not going to die from eating a cookie. The next thing to keep in mind is, I feel like a lot of times when you get to the end of a challenge, the end of a program, whatever, you're like, okay, I'm done, so I can just be done with it. And maybe this challenge didn't go quite as you expected it to go. Maybe you stopped keeping track after a few weeks because it was too tedious for you. Maybe you didn't quite hit the numbers that you were really hoping for. But again, it goes back to how I said time and time again, it's about progress and not perfection. And I really wanted this challenge to be more than just 12 weeks and then you're done. I don't want you to think of this as we're coming to the end of the challenge. I want you to think of this as, okay, I'm starting a healthy lifestyle. So just keep that in mind as you move forward, that this was supposed to be a stepping stone to help you start to incorporate some of these healthy habits. And hopefully you've been able to do that and just go from there and continue to work at it and continue to make the best choices that make you feel good in the long run. Last but not least, one of the biggest things, one of my biggest pet peeves, something I want you to keep in mind is to watch out for fitness trends and diet fads. And what do I mean by that? So I feel like the health and fitness industry, the health and fitness niche is probably one of the most confusing industries out there because you have so many opinions, you have so many conflicting information, varying suggestions telling you to do different things. And one of the biggest problems with that is the fitness industry and the health industry is also one of the most unregulated industries there is out there, which means that anybody can go onto YouTube, anyone can go onto Instagram and call themselves a fitness influencer without any credentials. And a lot of times they'll offer up suggestions that either A, worked for them in the past, so they think it's gospel and will work for anybody, even though without taking into consideration that everybody's made differently, or two, they're trying to promote their supplements or their workout programs. So it's just a red flag to really keep in mind when you are looking for information. And so a lot of times you will just hear all of these fitness trends saying things like, oh, carbs are the devil. Oh, wait, no, fat's the devil. Oh, if you eat almond butter, you'll live forever. But if you eat peanut butter, you will die. Trying to build muscle, you have to do your weight training first and then your cardio. If you do your cardio first, you'll shrivel up and die. You have to have protein a certain amount of time before or after your workout for it to be effective. Not that some of these things there aren't some truth to some of these things, except for the peanut butter thing. Peanut butter is perfect. Leave peanut butter alone. Almond butter wishes it was peanut butter. But what I mean is that you're going to hear all different kinds of things, different kinds of advice telling you what to do. And at the end of the day, the diet that works best, the fitness routine that works best is the one that you are going to enjoy and stick with. And so if you like peanut butter, eat peanut butter. If you like carbs, eat carbs. If you like doing your running first and then your weight training because you hate running, you just want to get it out of the way, that's me. I hate running. I do. Even with my scary movie music in my ears, I still hate it. I run in preparation for the zombie apocalypse. You just need to do what works best for you. In the long run, as long as you're moving your body and you're finding joy in the movements that you're doing, as long as you're eating food that makes you feel good, makes you feel satisfied, makes you feel fueled and ready to go, then that's the diet you need to stick with. So hopefully these tips will help. If you are interested in continuing with this Facebook group as an accountability group after the challenge, let me know. I mean, we can obviously keep the Facebook group going. You guys are more than welcome. Post on there, share, wins that you've had, share suggestions that you have that have worked for you. I can try to continue posting videos. I can't guarantee a weekly video because now that I'm almost done with my strength and conditioning certification, I'm going to be working on my lactation certification. So again, I'm just going to be a little bit busy, but I can continue to make videos, just not weekly. But yeah, just let me know. Again, I've had a lot of fun with this challenge. I feel like my biggest goal out of this was to start working out more because I find so much joy in working out. That is my That is my stress buster. That's where I build my confidence, is working out. And, with work being so busy this last year when we had our surge, I honestly wasn't working out very regularly. And I could feel it affecting me. And I am proud to say that within the last few months, I have definitely increased my working out, increased my strength. I've gotten some of my strength back and my stamina. So hopefully you all have had similar experiences. Comment down below what has been your favorite part of this challenge, what has been some things that you felt like you've improved on, or any questions that you may have. But anyways, thanks again for joining me in this 12 weeks. Again, as always, if you have questions, you know where to find me. Bye.